Hi everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. This video I will be sharing with you guys my first impressions on the Tom Ford Honeymoon Palette and a comparative review with the Orchid Haze Tom Ford palette. So if you guys are interested, do stick around. So I thought I would share with you guys my initial thoughts on the palette, the much coveted palette, and it is what I have on right now. I don't know if you guys can see that, and I wanted to compare it with the Orchid Haze palette because the Honeymoon limited edition palette from spring 2016 is the same formula as the much coveted Nude Dip as well, which was a limited edition, but it has now become a permanent palette. So this is how it looks, and I have been playing with it quite a bit, as you can see. And it comes with exactly the same things as the other palette does. It comes in a velvet pouch, and then you do get two brushes with it, the typical two brushes, which in quality is not really that bad. I mean, it's decent enough, you don't just throw it. So this is the one from my Orchid Haze palette, which I've already used and opened. So you get one like this, like a sponge tip applicator that's more pointed, and then you get one that's a brush on one end, and then you have a sponge applicator as well on the other end. So the reason why I wanted to compare it with you guys was also just to give you guys a gauge on what makes it so unique and different, and I think this is also the reason why the nude palette was so popular. So this is the Orchid Haze palette. It's a bit more of a more neutral kind of palette. And with this palette, you get two shimmer shades and two matte shades. And the biggest difference with the Honeymoon palette and the Nude Dip palette is that the Honeymoon palette as well as the Nude Dip are all shimmer shades, which can be, I guess, some people very, not so into it because it can be a bit too much, and I guess when you're a bit older, shimmery might be something you're apprehensive to use, but this is where the difference in quality and formula comes in. So I'm going to begin by swatching the Honeymoon palette for you guys. So this one right here is the lightest shade. This is the more bronzy gold. And then you have the coppery brown. And last but not the least, this like brown, mid-tone brown. So I will just swatch this, just that little amount on my hand, and you can see how even the shimmer is. That was not even a heavy swatch, you guys. You saw how lightly I touched the pan. It's not even a very good swatch actually, but this is how it looks with very little, very minimal product. So I'm gonna try to do that better for you guys in the back of my hand. So here are better swatches for you guys, and that, look at the shimmer on that, is so even and very, very good in quality. It's almost just like a sheen or a shimmer. It's not really a... So this is how it looks, you guys, and you can see right away this is not even heavy swatch, but you can see the evenness in the shimmer or the sheen. It's not chunks of glitter, it's not sparkly or shimmery. With some other eyeshadows, whether they be premium or not, even with some Chanel ones or even YSL, you would sometimes see some glitter particles, but this one is, there is absolutely none. And the texture, as I'm sure you guys know by this time, of the Tom Ford eyeshadows are really, really good, especially their shimmer ones. So for premium eyeshadows, Dior eyeshadows are very good in texture and consistency, but I think Tom Ford does shimmer shades, or yeah, shimmer shades really, really the best, and there is no fallout. So even when I'm using the darker shades, I don't have to worry about it falling on my makeup later on. It really lasts long, and if you guys can see, you can choose to really wear it as light or as heavy as you want. And the beautiful thing about the shades in this palette is that they each can stand on their own. There is no one shade that is just too over the top or too trendy. It's a very sophisticated shimmer palette that I think will work well with a lot of skin tones. Now, The difference with the Tom Ford and the Orchid Haze palette, the quality in terms of shadow is still the same, but the Orchid Haze has matte shades in them, and this is how they look. This one is more of the rosewood neutral, and this is the almost like the matte version of the darkest shade here in this palette. Almost. So that's how it looks, and I'll swatch that for you guys as well so you can see how the mattes differ. So these are the two matte shadows. I don't know if you guys can see the neutral rosewood one, but here, I made it a bit heavier so you can see. But you can see how even with the matte shadows, it's such an even application. And when you dip your brush on the pan, there is no fallout, there is no debris of particles or powders just affecting each other, which with a lot of premium shadows sometimes happens. But with the Tom Ford eyeshadows, it's very consistent across the board. When I dip my brush, I don't get fallout in the other pans. I can really concentrate on one color, and even when I'm applying it, it's not messy at all. Yet it really delivers the color and the sheen that you're looking for, and you really do get the color that you see on the pan, which is absolutely amazing. And I think the Honeymoon palette is just a beautiful, warm palette, but for some reason it's not too warm. Sometimes too warm doesn't suit me so much, but this is just a beautiful balance of warm shades that is, I think, really a great addition to any makeup collector's stash. So that is about it. I hope you guys found this quick impressions and quick review interesting and informative. If you have any questions, you can let me know down below. I want to show you guys again how beautiful it is. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day or a great evening.